If you or anyone around you are affected by the subjects of today's podcast, you can reach out to get help, advice, or support from our charity partners, Women's Aid, at womensaid.org.uk, or the Yorkshire-based organisation IDAS at idas.org.uk. You can also find these links and reach out to us directly via our website, takebackthebeat.co.uk, or email us at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com.
Take back the beat. Voice notes.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to Take Back the Beat Voice Notes.
It's getting longer and worse every episode. We're trying to out-sing each other now. It's like trying to vibrato that last bit.
Do you know what I find though? I'll be like on the tube or in the car and in my head like, voice notes, voice notes. That's not a song, it's just you.
Every time I'm the same, like I get a voice note on my phone, that jingle automatically goes off in my head. Yeah.
I might get, can you get like, put like a voice note as your ringtone? Because if every time you call me or voice note me or WhatsApp me, I want it to go, voice notes.
I think we should do that.
Absolutely
We need to find out if we can do that.
Google. There's someone out there going, oh my God, are these girls in the 21st century?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Also, are they okay?
No, we're not. Right. Biscoff.
Bisc off. We're singing everything.
Biscoff. That sounds like how you said it then, it sounded like...
I said fuck off.
Yeah, a biscoff.
Bisc off. Ooh, I like it. It's like almost a polite way of telling someone to do one.
To do one.
How are you
Anyway.
this week?
How am I? I think I'm fine because I'm quite giddy today. I'm a little bit giddy. I'm just very excited to be here.
Good. It's because I'm here.
Yeah. It's actually, I've had a lovely week. I've seen some friends. I've seen you, which is kind of nice.
You went to see a show, didn't you?
I went to see a show. I went to see 2 shows.
Oh. So
3, babe, I've seen 3 shows in like 2 weeks.
Well, I saw one show.
And you saw the show. We're just saying show. Farah went and saw Moulin Rouge and we're all really upset about it because she went and saw it and didn't tell anyone else. That's all we're going to talk about it because it doesn't matter.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you're listening and you need a satine, I'm here, babe. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Oh my God.
It looks amazing.
You know when you see something as a kid and it's like, it's the first time you've ever seen anything like that in your life and you just literally like jaw down.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how I felt.
I'm so jealous.
I don't think I blinked apart from... honestly, apart from when I cried, and that's because I had to wipe my eyes, but it had me laughing, it had me crying, it had me singing, it had me inspired. It was dope.
I'm so jealous. Yeah, I really want to go see it. But I've got to wait for my boyfriend to finish tour in 2023. So Moulin Rouge, can you please just keep extending?
Yeah, you're going to have to go to New York.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm here for it. But I want to see it in town because I say no. I've met Zoe Burkett and she's lovely and I've always wanted to see her perform live and she is the understudy of Satine. But she's also in like the ensemble and she has a name. I can't for the life of me remember the character's name.
It's not Nini, is it?
I can't remember. No. I'm just obsessed with all her costumes she puts on Instagram. She's just a dream.
Oh, the costumes were divine. And I've decided that like if you're listening and you've seen Moulin Rouge, the opening bit, they do the whole thing, they all kind of come out and like just like walk around very, very like slowly and sexy in the corsets, and it's just like they're in the club and everything's so slow and they've got those really long cigarettes. Forgive me, I've forgotten the name, but and the minute they all came and started just walking around, I was like, I want to be like that just every day.
Every day to Asda.
I was like, that is my new mood. I'm just going to walk around just very slowly.
You can't see
and very
audience loves of my life, but Farah has her arms in the air and she's doing some sort of slow-mo dancing and posing. It's quite entertaining.
I look amazing. But this is my new mood because of the Moulin Rouge, and I'm going to buy corsets and fishnets and just wear them around my flat. Okay. Just by myself because I can. That's my inspiration of this week. Was the Moulin Rouge. What shows did you see?
Well, I went and saw Dear Evan Hansen, which is very different to Moulin Rouge. It was incredible, insanely incredible. Cried like a baby. Go see it. It's just amazing. And then I went and saw our mutual friend Gabrielle Davina Smith.
Amazing.
who is in Hairspray.
Oh my God, I'm so proud of her.
Babe, she walked on stage and she's a dynamite. So, you know, like the girls in the shop who did the big songs.
Yeah.
She literally opened her mouth to sing and I stood up and screamed.
Oh.
And I was like, sorry, everyone, sorry. I'm just really proud.
Oh.
And she said afterwards, we saw her at stage door, and she was like, apparently afterwards, someone said to her, have you got friends in tonight?
Do you have people here?
I was so proud. I was like a proud mum, and that was amazing. Again, glitter, like so much colour, like literally there's pinks, there's blues, there's oranges, like in your face, and like sequins everywhere. So yeah, it's been a really good week. I've been really creative. I've seen people. I feel a little bit me.
Good. So are we saying no Biscoff this week?
Literally no Biscoff. I haven't even. We're gonna high five, and you can't even. Oh, you can hear
might
it.
have hit that.
No Biscoff.
I'm proud.
I've not even thought about Biscoff.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, look at us go.
God, we're good.
See, all you need is a good West End show in your life, and then
Yeah.
we're sorted.
There was like 10% of me that was like, oh, I really miss musical theatre. And then I remembered auditions. And
then you remembered you don't.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, no thanks. Getting up at like 8 a.m. to put a fake eyelash on. A fake eyelash on is just not who I am.
No.
So yeah, it was really good. How about you? You had any Biscoff this week?
No, that's why I high-fived.
Great.
Fived. What is wrong with us? Are we drunk? Is this coffee or is it?
Not a wine cast.
But yeah, that's why we high-fived, because I'm on the same. I'm on the same page. I've had a nice, creative, busy week. I've been to see shows. I came, obviously, to London with my friend who got me the tickets for my birthday gift last year. And yeah, it was really nice. We haven't done anything for years together. Yeah. She's got kids and everything now, and I'm busy. So trying to kind of like do overnight stuff becomes a little bit more difficult. Yeah. So this is the first time that we just was like getting on a train. I bought her the hotel for Christmas. So that was like,
oh, that's really cute.
My Christmas present to her, because she got me the tickets for my birthday.
Right.
So it was like a whole thing, and it was really nice.
I love that.
And we got all drunk and...
I was going to say, you literally texted me the next day, I'd voice noted you loads, and you were like, sorry, I'm on a train with a Greg's. Hungover.
Oh my God.
I was like, I'll message you later.
I can honestly say I had also that day had a McDonald's, and then I wanted a Five Guys milkshake, and then I got a Greg's. I got home and my stomach was like, who the fuck do you think we are? Like, we can't digest this, please. Thank you.
I really enjoy that.
Yeah, it was terrible. How are you today?
I'm good. Me?
I'm
good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, me.
Me,
all of you,
everybody. We've got a lovely guest in the waiting room. That's why I was really confused why you asked me if I'm okay. I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah, well, we're all fine, because we have got a very special guest today.
Yes,
so
we do.
He's my personal trainer, but he's also a good friend of mine who's listened to me go on in sessions.
She's got a PT, ladies and gents. She's got a PT.
He's helping me fulfill my Buffy the Vampire Slayer dreams.
If you follow Farah on Instagram, she's put like a kickboxing video up, which is terrifying and impressive all at the same time. But that is our guest, the other person that Farah is beating up.
Yes. So first of all, you've just you've had a baby. Are you getting any sleep? How's that going?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shock to the system, but I love it, to be honest. It's one of those crazy things where it hits you all at once, and every time everyone talks about a baby, you're like, will you shut up about a baby? It's boring me now. But like, I'm forever taking like a picture every 2 seconds and thinking that he's changed every hour when probably aren't. But
are you one of them now
it,
that's like, oh my God, my baby just burped, how cute is this? Is that you now?
Yeah. That's me. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm like that with my dog. Is that the same?
Probably not.
Okay.
Similar.
But congratulations, welcome.
Yeah, congratulations.
To the world of fatherhood.
Thank you.
So other than the little one, what else have you got going on in your life? Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your PT and your company?
Who are you?
Yeah, so obviously I'm a personal trainer because I train you, don't I, Nicola?
Yeah.
At the boxing gym, we've got all the young amateur boxers, so I work with the kids there. We're doing some pretty good things with those, some real talent coming through, and we've got a show coming up actually with quite a few boxers on, and obviously I coach and box myself. So yeah, it's a bit full on.
Yeah, That's amazing. So obviously the reason why I've asked you to come on today, which by the way, thank you, very grateful for that, is the fact that obviously when we have had these sessions and we get chatting about things, and one of the main reasons I kind of came to you for the PT and the kickboxing is to do with like self-defense. Because that's definitely something that I wanted to kind of grasp after everything that I'd been through. And you said that's a common theme when it comes to like women kind of getting into boxing and kickboxing is the self-defense. And then we got talking a little bit about your mum, who has also been in an abusive relationship. So you opened up to me a little bit about that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that situation? Like how old were you and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much before I was born, that. So it wasn't as if it was, it wasn't as if it was my dad or anything like that.
No, yeah.
But it was like that unspoken topic, do you know what I mean? Like, clearly we all had a little bit of an insight as to what had happened, but never really spoke to her about it. And obviously, as I got older, probably spoke to her a little bit more about it. And you just get stuff in dribs and drabs.
Yeah.
But it clearly affected probably, years after, pretty much. Maybe not at the time, but more hit her years later, because I remember when I was a kid, really, her dealing with like panic attacks and not really understanding where all that had come from. And, I don't know, she'd probably kill me for talking about this, but, this is what's personally I've seen as well. I used to remember just like seeing her in the bath and having panic attacks and trying to calm her down.
Wow.
It's quite interesting actually, because there's a couple of songs that I could like play to my mum, and I know that she'd just burst out crying, because there used to be like certain songs she'd put on when she'd feel that way, and I think they're really like fucking depressing, but it actually used to make her feel happier, and it used to make her feel better.
Yeah.
One of those songs was Dido, and how depressing's Dido.
Oh, wow.
That her songs are very like
deep.
Yeah. Deep, yeah.
And do you remember Corinne Bailey Rae as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Put Your Records On used to be one of them.
Really?
Yeah, and I can listen to them now, and I get this really deep emotion that just hits me, do you know what I mean? And if I was to play it to her, I feel like she'd just start crying or something. But to see her grow in this time as to where she is now, like she's like a whole new person.
That must be amazing as like a son to...
Yeah.
Are you quite close to your mum?
Oh, very close, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
But obviously I'm into fitness now, but it's very much music for me. And my mum's quite musical, as in she loves music and always likes dancing and stuff like that. But like, so it's quite different for me to talk about this now and see some sort of
but clearly,
change
like
direction
you
with
said,
everything.
it affects you. You've had to see your mother go through that, and like those panic attacks and triggers, and that's clearly like PTSD.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I can understand that. Sometimes I'm the same. I can see something or hear something, or even a program or a film, and it's a trigger instantly because it just kind of sets you right back to that time and how you felt. So, how has she coped with it? Did she have? Because you say about music, because obviously. Nat and myself use music as therapy. That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
So did she have like therapy, or did she just use music as a sort of therapy, and then like the support of family and friends to kind of get her where she's back to today?
I'll be honest with you. I think she probably dealt with it herself. I remember she used to buy a lot of like books and DVDs, especially in the 90s and stuff like that. It was all like you could buy like a disc for everything.
You really could.
Like, she's probably done all them Paul McKenna I Can Change Your Life books or whatever.
I love that.
I always remember as a kid we had like a bit of a feature as you come through the door. There's literally like a bookshelf with just a whole section on like self-help. So
I love that.
you can imagine what that's like. A 10-year-old like picking out a film and then seeing all these self-help books and thinking I'll have a browse of this and just not having a clue what it means.
Good on her though. Good on it. And do you think maybe because it was like the 90s or whatever, do you think she felt like she didn't have somewhere to go, because obviously that's the main point of us kind of doing this, is kind of giving people a safe space to talk about it, whether they're in it still or out of it. Do you think that she turned to those self-help books because she didn't have anywhere to go?
I'm not even sure, and still to this day probably I don't even know enough, because it's like a topic like it never open up, it'd very be closed off. And I've not really ever wanted to press her on it. She, you know, if she wants to tell me something, or anyone, she probably would have done. But you know, like, I think it very much happened before she kind of met my dad, and like my dad were a rugby player, and he was into like sort of a martial arts, judo.
Oh wow!
Quite a so I didn't really know his background with stuff, because again, like, even with like judo, he never really used to talk much about it, but he actually did compete for like Yorkshire and stuff, which were like quite a big thing when he was younger. So I think she felt quite safe, you know, being with my dad after whoever she was with before, and I think that probably helped her a lot as well, you know, after that.
For the listeners who aren't visual here, Louis just dropped his phone. It's very funny. We've got a lovely view of the sky. Looks very nice outside. We've been indoors all day, so it looks very nice outside.
It does.
That's amazing. Like, your mum sounds like such a strong woman. Like, do you, it's a bit of a random question, but do you think growing up around that kind of molded how you feel about women, or about self-defense, or about these sort of stuff, or did you not really think about it as a kid?
Probably not so much as a kid, no. I think because I've always had such a good relationship with my mum, and I do really respect women, and I think I get along with a lot of women, you know, as friends as well. Obviously, it can be one of those subjects, especially like personal trainers, where they sometimes get a bad rep, don't they? But I like to think that women feel quite comfortable around me, and like they can talk to me, and I think that's built through my relationship with my mum, and valuing women and seeing strong women as well. It's inspiring, isn't it?
I mean, I must admit, whenever Farah messages me and she's like, "Oh, I've just had a session with Louis. We spoke about this. I'm like, "Did you do any training? did you kick anything? Because I don't think you do."
We honestly, how many times have we been like, we should just go and get a coffee and get everything out, because we spend most of the time talking, but putting the worlds to rights. And like you said, it's a topic that we're both close to. And also, for those of you who don't know much about Louis, but he's also a DJ and he's into music as well. But he gave the idea of, when I decided to kind of release my EP, to perform it in the boxing ring. So it was Louis' idea, which turned out incredible.
We were looking at just like random like music venues, and then you said that Louis said about the boxing ring, and I was like, I love it. It's so like morbid and amazing at the same time. I was like, this is so cool. So that's so great. Like Farah said that you went into some schools and you've been doing stuff with kids with like self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, I've done all sorts. You know, I've worked with like I just call them the naughty kids, if you like. I've done stuff where I previously used to work with kids that have been like expelled and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, working with those is a challenge in itself, and obviously if you can get through to them, that's it's quite rewarding, but it's challenging as well.
I remember because you and your partner do that, because I remember I came in, I don't know if it was in like, it might have been in the holidays at some point, and I came into a session, and I think you were just finishing up with two like young girls. And I remember Chloe kind of telling me that she likes to talk to them about the things that we obviously know now is not to like keep your earphones in when you're walking down the street, and which again we should be able to do, but you know we can't obviously just yet, because the world hasn't caught up, and things like that. And I think that's incredible in itself, you know, because they were young impressionable girls, and you were given this session to kind of like teach them how to keep themselves safe. And I really loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that. It's such, and I think there needs to be a little bit more of it, like you said, like workshops in schools and stuff, and it needs to start like now, so that you know.
It's horrific that you even have to do that. Like, it's horrific that as women,
1,000%.
like, we are told, like, don't wear your hair in a ponytail because it's easier to grab. Don't have your headphones in. Make sure you've got your keys like in your hand, and it's horrific because I don't think men are ever told don't beat women. It just should be something you are told in your head. But whatever, that's a whole other anger management problem from Nat Gray there.
No, but it's the same. I've talked to you about it before, where I've said, you know, like, I won't go out after a certain time on my own, or if, you know, if I ever have in the past found myself walking home from the pub, which again I should be able to do, I always walk in the middle of the road so that I'm not near any bushes and no one can grab me and stuff like that. And
ridiculous.
It's like I was telling you about it, and it's like, yeah, you've probably never done that in your entire life, or never had to.
Yeah, I think the thing is, when it all comes down to like self-defense, and there'll be a lot of bullshit you'll have to sift through. Like if you were going to go on YouTube and there'll be someone telling you to do this like unique grab and then twist their arm and then drop the knee down and choke them out, and all sounds brilliant, but under pressure, when the adrenaline's kicking in, a lot of people, to be honest, are just going to freeze.
Yeah.
You know, you're not used to that situation. The element of surprise stuns you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of factors, and let's face it, it's like, look at me. I compete in boxing, and there's a reason I don't compete with a heavyweight, because it's a mismatch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's weight classes for a reason, for it to be a fair contest.
Yeah.
So when you get the sort of advice, do this, do that, let's face it, most women are probably not going to have the strength against a man anyway. Yeah. So that's straight out the window.
And like you said, it's especially with adrenaline running through your body and fear. And it's a whole, like, hi Louis, I've just met you, but here's my life story. I was held at gunpoint a few years back, and I froze and my body went fight or flight. What do you do? And I hid in an alleyway, and and it was like a dead end alleyway. And I literally stayed there for about 5 seconds, and my brain just went, right, if you stand here, he's going to come around the corner and shoot you in the head and you're going to die. But if you run home, because I was only 10 seconds from my flat, if you run home, you might get shot in the back, but you can survive that. And I wasn't even scared. And my brain just went, right, this is what you do, go. And I pegged it home and whatever. And I'm luckily alive and everything's fine. But at the time, that was the fight or flight. My brain instantly went, do this, don't do this. And like, it's such a weird place, because there's no point in my brain would have gone, right, fight back, or like, do this, do that. And yet, to feel safer, I want to know how to do that in case I can defend myself. Like when you talk about the things you learn with Louis, I'm like, I would love to feel safe to walk down the road, which is horrible, but you know. And
the thing is, like, I'm not saying I would be any better off and know what to do, but I have been attacked and by a big guy more than once, and I'm still standing, I'm still here. But my first instinct back then was to curl into a ball and cover my head. I was like, this is how I'm going to get through it. Just hold your breath and go. Yeah. And you'll deal with the rest after. Yeah. And now I like to think that I wouldn't just curl in a ball no, do you know what I mean? And like you doing those little things that we do together and building my strength and, you know, head kicks, because I swear to God I need to use one of them soon. I'm going to show you it after. Oh God. But, you know, if I was being attacked or anything like that, I hope now that I, you know, might even be able to, I know you show me how to like use my body weight to get out of things, even if it's to just run. You know what I mean? Like to get myself to safety.
And sometimes it's not even about the actual thing happening, because like Louis has said, like when things do happen and like adrenaline's running through your body, and safety first. Like if a person's got a gun or if he's got a knife, safety first. Like give them your purse. Like
1,000%.
Literally do whatever you can to be safe. But sometimes just knowing that you can get yourself out of a chokehold, or you can kick someone in the head if they attacked you, makes you feel better. And I think that's because hopefully, like, majority of people listening to this haven't been mugged and attacked or whatever, hopefully in this world. But it's nice to have the comfort.
I always see it like a little bit at times, wherever you are. It's like a little bit of a game of statistics. Statistically, you know, if the odds are against you, like say, you're in a scenario and it gets past a certain time and it's darker and it's not well lit, and then you don't know your surroundings, you're not with anyone, then your chances with everything are just going down and down.
Yeah.
You've kind of got to already be like a few steps ahead all the time. I'm not saying walk around everywhere with anxiety and be analysing everything, but you kind of, I see a lot of people and they don't have self-awareness, and they're really not paying attention to what's happening in day to day. And you should be able to recognise threats really before they even happen. And I guess that's the biggest self-defence you can ever have.
Yeah,
and kind of seeing the signs, you know what I mean? I guess we all want to believe that everyone's, you know, a good person and everyone has the best intentions, but
unfortunately not.
Life doesn't work like that, does it? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, it's amazing that you're going around like talking to kids about this and stuff. Like, it is, I wish I'd been spoken to about self-defense and why it's important and why we need it. And like you said, the logic of statistics, like when I hear someone's like, oh yeah, I walked through a park at 4 a.m. drunk, I instantly, my heart drops. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Yes, you should be able to, but come on, like logic, statistics, like come on, have a bit of self-awareness. So it's amazing that you are going and talking to like kids about this, because the sooner that we can kind of put that in our minds to be safe, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
1,000%.
Yeah. It's amazing like what you've come through and how everything is. Do you talk a lot to your partner about like what your mum's been through, or is it more of like a private family thing?
I think for me, like, again, it's not something that's consumed as life, and my mum's obviously done a very good job of dealing with it herself. But for her to come out, she's definitely on the other side of it now, and she's the best she's ever felt. And I can see that.
That's amazing.
But in terms of my partner, I mean, she's a great advocate for women as well. Like, she's a kickboxer, and she's always preaching self-defense, and through her own situations that's probably happened in the past. You know, she's all about just trying to promote women's safety, and every woman should be aware of these things. And not just walk around thinking that the world is okay, because let's face it, it isn't. You only have to go on a night out and you can witness something within 5 minutes. And it's like what you've spoke about before, Nicola. You go out and obviously you perform. You already have to have thick skin for that, don't you? You know, let's face it. Being on stage and being in the public eye, I think for some people it validates their behaviours, and when they're drunk, they think it's okay to be animals. Basically, that's what I think at times.
1,000%. With you, obviously, you know someone close to you who's been through it, so it's something that I felt comfortable speaking about to you, and vice versa. But I've been asking people like, why do you think it's such a taboo thing still? Like, what do you think it is that people like misunderstand about the entire abuse thing? Because it can make a room very fucking awkward. Even if it's somebody just, you know, saying, oh, that happened to me. And it's like, oh, we don't want to talk about that. Or we were talking on a different episode about people asking questions like, yeah, but did that happen? Or, oh, that's nothing to do with us because it's behind closed doors. Or so what do you think that we can do as a society, not just as women, to kind of bring that to light, to make it not a taboo subject? Like, do you just think people get uncomfortable by the topic?
To be honest with you, I don't think the way that life is in general helps. Everything we see, in my opinion, and everything we see in the media and everything we see in music and all the rest, all makes us feel a certain way. And I think women are very much always seen as a bit of a, like, I mean, I can openly say this, I feel like women at times are seen as a little bit of a second to men, I would say. You only have to look at sports. You know, women's boxing is not as high profile as male boxing. And there's some great female boxers. Music in itself, obviously, it's a little bit down. I feel like sex is a huge part of it. That's the way that everything's sold these days, and it's all like. I'll just give you an example because I'm waffling on a little bit.
No,
but
I get it.
I go on Apple Music and I listen to a playlist.
Yeah.
All it's talking about is, especially the rapping and stuff, is literally degrading women.
Yeah.
Just talking about awful stuff, really. And it only became apparent the other day when I put it on in car with Chloe, listening to lyrics. I mean, literally just talking about women like they're just a piece of shit, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like if that's in your mind all the time, musically, visually, and in all your workplaces, you know, you only have to go to a corporate job and you've got some male boss at the top thinking he can just talk to women how he wants and be sleazy with them or whatever.
Yeah. It's nice to hear it from that side as well, because you're saying incredible things that obviously we as women already know, and that's what we're trying to change and but to hear it from, you know, a male is really nice actually and refreshing to hear.
Absolutely, because it is. You go on TikTok and like all the TikTok challenges and like things that go viral or like trends and whatever. It's usually something either very sexual, or like music that's something or other about sleeping with some woman or some hoe. I've said hoe so many times on this podcast, and I have to do the air quotes because I can't say that word. But it's horrible because I wouldn't ever write music about a man like that. Like it's a very strange subject.
You could, you know, look at, you know, artists like Doja Cat or like Cardi B, who I absolutely adore.
But look at the press they got.
But
about
they get
songs.
shit because they talk about everything sexually. But it's, if a man's doing it, it's fine. But if she does it and then puts a thong on in a music video, she's a slut. And I'm like, no, she's just it's her shit. Let her talk about it. If you don't want to listen, don't listen. So it is as much. I'm figuring out as much as we like to talk about. We're all moving forward as a society. I actually don't think we have very much, like at all.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree. I think it almost becomes fashionable to be like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I think because it's because I feel like everyone lives in that way now. It's not like a culture shock. Like no one really gets worked up about it. It's like, oh well, she probably deserved it, or you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or she probably asked for it. Look at where she dresses on nights out and talking to other lads, or do you know what I mean? And
we've touched on this, so that's why we're smiling now. Obviously, the people listening can't see that, but because it's exactly what we say. We get questioned like, but was she flirting, or what was she wearing? Was she drunk? And it's like, what the fuck does that matter? It doesn't matter. So.
It's amazing to hear it from you. But Louis, thank you so much. We've waffled on your day. I'm sure you've got to get back to the newborn. But thank you so much. It was an absolute dream. And thank you for finding some peace for my friend Farah here, because it's lovely to hear her talking about it all. But thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, before we go, plug yourself. How do people find you?
Your socials and your PT and everything, and how can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram mainly, Louis Bailey Fitness.
Bailey Fitness.
I probably should use more social media, but
you use it for your PT. Is it PT Level Up?
Yeah, I'm using a little bit of that, but I've just gone back to my other one because everyone used to just message me on the original anyway. So it's pointless having. What I've realised, it's pointless having two accounts because it's just hectic.
Yeah,
just one account. I am who I am, and that's how you'll find me.
There you go.
Amazing. We
I like
will find
that.
you.
We'll end on that note. I am who I am.
Thank you so much, Louis.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was Louis Bailey.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
I am so glad that he's come on board with this. Like I said from the start, he's, the one who gave me the whole idea of where to have it and the venue. And I remember I had a session, once again, 10 minutes spent talking and catching up.
Standard.
We're like two old bloody women. We just chat. And it's honestly. But I remember he was like, pass me your phone. And I was like, okay. And he went and put it in the music thing. He was like, put your music on. So I passed him my phone and he put it in and he turned the lights down, put the big, there's like
wow.
proper lights in there where you've
Yeah.
seen them, like the stage lighting.
Yeah.
And lit all the boxing ring up. And he just went, imagine. He just did the whole like, imagine getting in there and doing it. And I was like, yeah, okay, you've sold me.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
And I just remember going, yeah, okay, shit, yeah, you've sold me.
Wow.
So it was, I remember that exactly. That was the moment I was like, yeah, this is going to
Yeah.
look wicked. And the fact that, like you said, we got to do it in a boxing ring, it was very empowering in itself.
Oh, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's nice to hear it from a guy's point as well.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting, like all he was saying about like women and how he's noticed it, and you kind of go, yeah, this is the fight we've had, and these are the things we're always saying, and it's great that other people are going, yeah, it's a bit shit that women are treated like a lower entity than men, and you're like, yeah. And it's actually really interesting talking to him because obviously a lot of Take Back the Beat is we kind of highly focus on domestic violence, which is obviously a very important subject to us. But we are also talking about just violence in general towards women. And like, obviously I've been attacked in London, and it's something really passionate that I'm passionate about and talking about. So when he then started talking about that and like self-defense, it's like, like it's so empowering to feel strong. Yeah. Even if you're not, like, violence is never the answer, no matter what. But just having the knowledge to go, I'm okay. And not having to be like, oh, I want to be with someone else who's a bit bigger than me or taller or stronger. Yeah. No, I've got this. Yeah. And I'll defend myself till the cows come home.
And that's the thing, like I said, even if, I'm not, a violent person at all. So, only on stage, darling. But yeah, when it comes to like me now being able to say like, I really hope I wouldn't just curl up in a corner and, I hope now that I'd be able to at least defend myself in the sense of being able to get away from the situation, not to add fire to it and, make it a worse situation. But I'm hoping that, I could hold my own to get to a safe place.
You absolutely could. Yeah. So yes, thank you, Louis, so much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So go and check out his. He does videos on there as well, and I think he did some bits like over Christmas, and did like little technique videos. So even if you're not from the local area, you can still give him a little follow and things like that. So yeah, really
amazing. And this is our win of the week that we're going to leave you with. And before, obviously, like, rate and subscribe. But the win of the week, I've, again, picked the win of the week because...
Yeah, she sent this to me, so I'm going to let you... I've seen it, but I am agreeing with the win of the week. So this is a win of the week from us both because it genuinely is. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I was saying, like, when I'm hungover or when I'm down, which is very much the same feeling, I'm like, I need to just crawl under the covers for a minute and watch, like, dog or animal videos, like happy videos. And I love it. So the fact that you've now told me about this, I'm actually looking forward to a hangover because I know I'm just going to binge watch all these cute videos.
Yeah,
so I'll let you take over.
I found on Instagram because a friend of mine, so I'm kind of obsessed with a friend of a friend's dog.
Cute.
There you go. And they'd posted about he got like a lovely haircut, and I was like, oh, it's like a before and after, like a transition video on TikTok of like the bougie ones, but it was a dog, and I was like, that's the best thing to come out of TikTok, let's be honest. So I went on this Instagram page, and it's called Fur Studio. That's FUR Studio. Oh my days! It's like a doggy spa, and it's in London, and basically all it is just cute dogs after haircuts. So my win of the week is head to that Instagram and literally just binge watch all of these really cute, some of them are transition videos, and oh my days, it'll just break your heart. Some of them are just really cute little photos of the dogs. And
she's talking like that because she's currently on the Instagram page as we're sat here looking at all the cute little dogs, and that's why she's doing it. Like they're here. She's talking to them like they're here. But I love that.
Thank you. It just made me so happy. So I thought, I genuinely like shared this page to so many people and was like, guys, look at this. Look at this. And everyone's like, I'm at work. And I'm like, I know, but the dogs. Yeah. The dogs need our attention, people. So yeah, head to Fur Studio. I'm following them. So if you can't find them, just go on to mine and look at following, and like, it's there. But yeah, that's my win of the week.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing because it is cute AF.
It's cute.
Oh, did I just say AF? I apologise right now.
BRB.
Ew. On that fucking note.
Thank you guys so much for listening once again, and we will be back soon.
Love you.
Love you.
Take back the beat. Voice note.
We do apologise if anyone was triggered by any of the dialogue we used today. We are still learning and we are only just beginning to talk about our own experiences. We're aware that trigger warnings are completely different for everybody, so please bear with us. We love you all. We also want to hear your experiences. If there's anything you'd like to share with us, any stories, anything you are happy to discuss on this podcast, you can stay anonymous if you would like. Please send us an email at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media at takebackthebeat. Thanks, guys. We love you all.